What happened to Alexandra Trusova since the Olympics in 2022 and where she is now? Alexandra Trusova remains one of the most defining figures in women's figure skating. Her technical achievements changed the expectations of what female skaters could do. Even after stepping away from competition, her name continues to influence how sport develops. This is a complete update on her life, training and current status after the Olympics, after motherhood, and after the biggest shift in her personal life so far. After the 2022 Olympic Games, Trusova did not return to competitive events. Instead, she moved into a phase on performing and maintaining skating quality through show work. She became a regular performer in Beijing Plushenko's ice shows, which also allows her to stay on the ice daily, test choreography, explore difficult program styles, and stay visible in the sport. Her appearance and presentation changed gradually during this period. Costume choices, hair color, and choreography developed into a softer, more expressive direction. These changes did not replace her athletic identity, they added another layer to it, showing that she could deliver performances without relying only on technical difficulty. Throughout this time, she continues training off-camera as well, maintaining a base level of athletic fitness. Trusova married a Russian figure skater, Makar Ignatov, and shortly after, she announced her pregnancy on August the 6th. She gave birth to her son, Mikhail. This confirmed a major shift in her personal life that many already expected because she had spoken for years about wanting a family at a young age. Pregnancy required a full pause in high-level jump training. Carrying a child changes coordination, balance, center of gravity, leg strength, and hip stability, all of which are essential for safe jumping. Because of this, her first steps back onto the ice were not focused on jump difficulty, they focused on regaining body control. After giving birth, Trusova did not delay returning to skating. Her return was structured and gradual. Simple skating moves and edges, balance and coordination, low-impact rotation drills, gradual pressure placed on knees and ankles, rebuilding muscle strength and cardiovascular endurance. She began skating twice a day, while adding Pilates and targeted rehabilitation to regain body stability. This approach is common when returning after pregnancy because attempting high-impact jumps too early risks injury and technical breakdown. Over time, she reintroduced jumps, triples, and became restored through repetition and controlled placements. She's not training quads right now because re-establishing full consistency is the priority. If quads return later, they will need to be built on a stable base rather than rushed under pressure. The method shows that the goal is not fast results, it's long-term stability. Trusova trains at Angels of Plushenko, where she previously worked earlier in her career. The environment allows her to access ice regularly, combine training with show work, keep flexible schedule that fits family responsibility, avoid relocation or instability, maintain control over her public image and privacy. Plushenko and his academy have publicly supported her gradual rebuilding process. The environment does not push rushed technical content, which aligns with her current phase of recovery and development. She has spoken respectfully about all her previous coaches. She has not compared coaching styles or made emotional statements about the past. And this reflects on her approach, maintaining her professional boundaries and avoid public conflict. Trusova has stated several times that motherhood does not mean the end of her career. She continues training without relying on external childcare. Her family supports her while she trains. Her current schedule shows that motherhood and sport are not incapable. Recovery does not require isolation. Skating remains part of her daily routine. Her identity as an athlete continues in parallel with her new role. She has said she may want more children later in life, but not at the expense of her current goals. Right now, the priority is rebuild the body, restore skating strength, and remain active in sport. Officially, Alexandra Trusova has not retired, has not ended her career. She has said that she misses competing and keeps the door open for comebacks. A return to competition depends on three main factors. First, the full physical readiness. Second, restored jump consistency. And third, whether Russian skaters can return internationally. If international restrictions continue, her comeback path would be domestic first. If restrictions end, she could potentially re-enter international events depending on federation decisions and ranking procedures. At her age, early 20s, a return is realistic if progression continues and her body remains healthy. Women's skating is shifting towards longer athletic careers, especially for athletes who rebuild correctly rather than chase fast results. Outside of the rink, Trusova has built a stable public platform, brand partnerships, lifestyle content, family-orientated posts. This allows her to maintain financial and public stability without depending solely on competitive results. This type of foundation gives her flexibility. She can return if ready, but her relevance does not disappear if she delays or chooses another direction later. Today, Alexandra Trusova skates regularly, is rebuilding triple jumps, maintaining daily training, balancing motherhood and skating, performs in shows, keeps her comeback options open, and remains connected to the sport through routine, discipline, and physical rebuilding. Her career is not closed. It is in the development stage, one that requires patience, consistency, and correct progression. Her comeback has not been confirmed, but the possibility remains open. If she does return, it won't be the same environment she left. Since the Olympics 2022, the competitive field and expectations have changed. Understanding what her return would mean requires looking at how the sport has developed in her absence and where her presence would fit into the structure. Trusova changed women's skating by landing multiple quads in competition. Her impact increased the technical ceilings and forced the field to adjust. Since she stepped away from competitions, quads attempts have reduced. Some elements remain, but consistency and controlled programs have carried more weight. If Trusova returns with restored power and jump stability, she would reintroduce pressure on others to increase base value again. Even without quads at the start, her presence alone would shift expectations because she represents the highest technical benchmark the field has seen. Her comeback would re-establish a reference point other skaters measure themselves against. A full jump rebuild is still in progress, but if quads return later, they would not only add points, they would change how competitors build their programs. The women's field does not currently have a dominant technical aggressive skater with Trusova's identity. Without her, competitions have been defined by consistency, interpretation, and controlled risk. A Trusova comeback would introduce a different competitive direction even before high difficult jumps return. She would immediately draw attention in Russia and internationally. Other skaters would have responded to her preparation, not just her results. Training schedules, program construction, and competition strategies could shift based on her presence in the field. A return would not guarantee victories, but would guarantee influence. Competitors remember facing Trusova at her peak. She is associated with pressure, difficulty, and ambition. Her presence adds competitive tension because she represents high standards and risk tolerance. This means her return would affect the field beyond scoring. It would affect confidence, preparation, and how skaters plan their season. Younger skaters who entered the sport after her last competition would now have to face the athlete they grew up watching. In the elite sport, the type of psychological pressure matters as much as technical difficulty. Before motherhood, Trusova was defined by power and athleticism. During the show, she demonstrated controlled presence and a more polished movement quality. If she combines her improved skating style with restored technical content, her programs could look different from her previous competitive identity. A comeback with this balanced, stable base jumps, structured skating, and reserved high difficulty would show a progression that fits the current direction of the sport, where longevity and control holds more value than short peaks. A revolution could shift judging expectation towards athletes who maintain career continuity rather than burning out early. Trusova returning as a competitive mother would be a significant development for Russian women's skating. Historically, female skaters in Russia transition out of competition early, often in their late teens. A successful rebuild after childbirth would challenge that pattern. Her example could influence how training plans are structured, with controlled rebuilds instead of rushed attempts, stable prioritization over maximum risk at every event. This could extend career timelines and encourage athletes to view skating beyond a short competitive window. Trusova's public presence and stability outside of competition allows her to return without depending on results or maintaining relevance. This reduces pressure and gives her flexibility in choosing how and when to compete. Her recognition is established, her audience is consistent, and this allows her to pursue a comeback focused on performance quality rather than external validation. Other athletes may follow this model, securing stability outside of competition and returning when ready rather than out of necessity. If Trusova returns, there are two realistic competitive models. First, the gradual return, domestic events, stable triple jumps, no immediate focus on quads, and this builds consistency and confidence. The second one is staged technical return, stable triple first, then quads reintroduced only when alignment is restored, and this minimizes risk and protects longevity. Both models depend on long-term rebuilding and not short-term pressure. A Trusova comeback would not only be a personal decision, it would influence technical expectation, competitor preparation, and discussion around athlete longevity. She would re-enter a field that has adjusted to her absence, and her presence would shift the balance again. Her comeback would not recreate her past, it would redefine her role in the present.